U.S. history, your units World War II / the 30s, depression into World War II. Lesson is War in the Pacific. Let me know when I can start.
Yeah, do it.
Okay. What are some reasons Pearl Harbor was attacked by the Japanese? Anybody? Trade embargo?
Yeah.
Good. What else? Just trade embargo?
Most of their fleet was located in that harbor?
Yes, it was. Why did the Japanese attack? Trade embargo. We didn't let them have any Iowa corn. Yes.
It was a conspiracy to get the United States in the war, so it actually wasn't Japan. It was one of the allies, but they just wanted us to be part of the war. So they said they were Japanese planes.
That is a theory that floats around. Very good. Thank you.
Dismissed me.
Find doors to keep up here. Anyone else? Dylan? Just trade embargo?
It was important to America. That's why. I don't know.
Very good. Very good. Very good. What were attitudes held by Americans during the war against the Japanese? What kind of attitudes? Actually, let's back up. Let's back up. Going off that, this is a Japanese cartoon. Why was Pearl Harbor bombed off this cartoon? What can we draw? What are some conclusions we can draw from this? First, let's start with what characters are represented here. Who's this? Who's this? Who's this?
That's a Japanese soldier.
Yes? Very good.
President of the United States.
Who is? FDR. Good. And who's that? Yes, Winston Churchill. Very good. What's going on in this? What are the themes here? I mean, this was made in Japan prior to war starting with the United States, prior to them attacking the British Empire in French Indochina, which is right in here.
Cut off their arms, they just get thrown back
Where are those arms at?
all over Asia.
Keep going with that. Why?
Because they're in Asia.
Very good. That's one of the main reasons. You have American imperialism, you have the British Empire in India, Indochina, like I said down here, Americans in the Philippines, America has bases in Midway, Wake Island, a lot of insular possessions all around the Japanese Empire. So someone comes into your neighborhood, I'm going to build a house here, I'm going to build a house here, I'm going to build a house here, I'm going to build a house here. You live in the country, you're going to be okay with that? They're just going to do it. You're going to be okay with that? I know.
I have a question. There's more than 8 arms. So was the implication that they would cut them off and they would grow back and keep coming?
Yeah. So, what kind of mood do we see the Japanese kind of having towards Western powers? Like, what is this a friendly mood? Resentful, maybe? Right? Yes. Resentful. Can we talk about why that view was held by the Japanese? Jake? Yes, resentful. Why? We just touched on it.
Because the Japanese are tired of the United States kind of being involved in their affairs.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Japanese side of things. We've got the Americans, we've got the British, they've got their tentacles all over Southeast Asia, the Southern Pacific, the Northern Asian mainland, into China. They, open door policy, you're going to trade with us or else. That might be a pretty big factor what pushes Japan to want to attack Pearl Harbor. Get them out of our neighborhood, so to speak, right? Now this one, cartoon. Who made this one? Correct, Jake. This is an American cartoon. What messages do we see in this one? Brandon.
Well, it seemed to look like they are saying, show like they're pretty evil burning people or so, and pillaging kind of.
Mm-hmm. Good. Anyone else?
Is that a woman?
Yes.
Naked.
Yeah. What emotion is this cartoon playing on?
Looks like he enjoys it.
He enjoys it, but what's this cartoon trying to instill the reader? If I'm John Doe in the middle of Nebraska and I'm not having much experience on the east or west coast of what's actually coming and going, merchant fleet, etc., what's my view of the Japanese going to be? Absolutely. Fearful. Correct. Very good. How is each character in this represented? Jake, you alluded to it. We have a woman. Yes, she is new. What sort of racial tones do we see in this? Or themes? Do we see the Japanese as equal people to the white Westerner, quote unquote?
Well, they make him look like a lot different than normal.
Absolutely.
Kind of like scary, honestly.
Yeah.
Kind of like Alien.
Absolutely. It's those, quote unquote, it's those yellow men from the east. We don't know what, they look different. They're just kind of out there. Yes.
Is that Pax the Rising Sun on his arm? Is that,
Yes.
was that something that the Japanese embraced, or was that,
The Rising Sun.
was that like a good thing about Japan, or would that be considered a bad thing?
That was the Rising Sun was their national kind of, you could call it your coat of arms. Like that was their, crude terms, that was their battle flag, their insignia. What do we have? And obviously, in course background of this, we would have kind of some readings that would go with this, that would kind of underline the racial connotations, communications during World War II against the Japanese. Can anyone tell me what a slang term was of a Japanese soldier by, let's say, U.S. Marines, American soldiers? No? No. Little yellow monkeys. How is he standing? You think all of that plays into how we're trying to present this, how they're wanting to present this? What would the purpose of this cartoon be, do you think? Sean?
I think it was probably to get people to see the Japanese as like a threat that could really be here. So I'm going to assume that woman who looks like a white American was not in Japan.
Absolutely.
That they were here.
They're going to come here, they're going to pillage our property, like I believe it was Jake that said that. They're going to just grab our women and walk off with them. So, these were what my objectives would have been for this lesson. Kind of tie it all together. Obviously, we were trying to discern the kind of racial connotations for each cartoon, the resentment that kind of built up to Pearl Harbor. And lastly, this is in class kind of take home sheet. It's about, well, it's not about, it is 4 questions. There are no yes or no questions on here, Sean.
Good.
It basically asks them to analyze, what we just did in class. And if I had more time, I would have done bullet points on the board, kind of Japanese sentiment, American sentiment, but I didn't want to get bogged down in writing.
Okay, so, Aaron, did you say you had an objective, or
Oh,
you referenced an objective?
that's what I had. Sorry.
So that might be a bit much for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
What